Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm down here for a couple different reasons. The first, to keep my promise. I've been to the border numerous times. I've been to El Paso. I came here in March 2021. We've watched, after the Biden administration took office, changing the policies, creating a real challenge for our border agents. I promised them if we won the majority, we'd make sure that we did everything we could to secure this border. I wanted to keep that promise and come back and spend time with them today. You know, just in the last 2 years, I've been to the border numerous times, but I've been to El Paso more than President Biden has been to the border any place in his 40 years of elected office. I think it'd be important for him to come see what his policies are doing and the damage that it's doing to our country. You know, it's an honor to be here with the agents. We just spent time with them. Our nation has never been so at risk, and their job has never been harder. Those brave men and women risk their lives every day to protect the American citizens from the consequences of illegal border crossings. Together we bear witness to the worst border crisis in the U.S. history. There has been more than 4 million illegal border crossings since Joe Biden has taken office. That's not the worst part. Now that Title 42 may end, we're bracing for a tsunami. People talk about 18,000 crossings in a day. That would mean 13 million more illegal crossings for the rest of the term of Joe Biden if nothing changes. Think about that. 17 million more illegal entries into our country. Just last week, Secretary Mayorkas testified under oath that, yes, the border is secure. I'm here to tell you it is not. We spent the day with border agents. I asked each and every one if this border is secure. They laughed. They said it is not. It is one of the worst points in the history of this nation. We just went to a bridge in El Paso where 70,000 people have come across in the last 7 weeks. And the Secretary of Homeland thinks this border is secure. For the last 2 years, President Joe Biden and the Democrats running Congress has pushed open border policies and waged baseless attacks on our border agents. The actions of this administration have empowered cartels, drug smugglers, human traffickers, and terrorist organizations all around the world. Just last week, U.S. Customs and Border agents off the coast of Puerto Rico came under fire in the line of duty. One agent was fatally shot, while 2 other agents were wounded. In March 2021, we came down after the new administration had lifted those policies. We visited the border. I warned, having learned from the Border Patrol agents, of the suspects on the terrorist watch list that were coming across. The amount of fentanyl that they hadn't seen in the past now coming across. We held a press conference. We advised not just America, but to the members of Congress. Members of the Democratic Congress said I was lying, that there weren't people on the terrorist watch list. Congressman Gallegos said that, who sits on armed services. Since that time period, more than 107 terrorist suspects have been apprehended crossing this border. Fentanyl is poisoning and killing Americans in every single community. Americans have died from overdoses. Secretary Mayorkas would like you to believe that the people committing these crimes are just in the search of a better life. How many people have not been caught? In 42 days, a united Republican House takes control. In 42 days, we end one-party Democrat rule in Washington. A new House Republicans will work to stop Joe Biden's assault on our laws, our borders, and our border agents. We will use the power of the purse and the power of the subpoena. Now let me be clear. Those responsible for this disaster will be held accountable. I've spoken today, again, to Congressman Jim Jordan and Jamie Comer, the future chair of Oversight and Judiciary Committee. And they have my complete support to investigate the collapse of our border and the shutdown of ICE enforcement nationwide. Under Secretary Mayorkas, his deliberate suspensions of our laws have proved deadly. Fentanyl is now flowing in record amounts. Today, 300 Americans will be poisoned and die. Tomorrow, 300 more. It is the equivalent of an airline crashing each and every day in America. But again, he does nothing. If an airline crashed 3 days in a row, the entire nation would say, we have a real challenge. We have a crisis. We have a disaster. We have to do something about it. But he continues to lie to the American public. We have lost operational control of our southern border, empowering drug cartels and human traffickers. They have fired shots at our National Guard. They put AK-47s pointing at helicopters. They have burned and hung and raped the women and caught them on fire. And again, Secretary Mayorkas thinks the border is secure. He has blocked ICE and Border Patrol from enforcing our laws while vilifying them at the same time. Do you realize what that has done? In the last 10 days, 3 Border Patrol agents have committed suicide, a total of 14 this year, a number we have not seen in decades. He ended the Remain in Mexico policy and wants to end Title 42. His actions have produced the greatest wave of illegal immigration in recorded history. Our country may never recover from Secretary Mayorkas' dereliction of duty. This is why today I am calling on the Secretary to resign. He cannot and must not remain in that position. If Secretary Mayorkas does not resign, House Republicans will investigate every order, every action, and every failure will determine whether we can begin impeachment inquiry. If Secretary Mayorkas was in charge of any company, he would have been fired by now for the failures of what he has caused. The American public deserve more, deserve better, and expect more within their government. Enough is enough. We will do whatever it takes. This is my commitment to the men and women of the Border Patrol and to the citizens of the United States of America.